Hi, dumpster divas. What's up? Happy. What is today? Happy Friday. Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to Dumpster Dive Live. Oh, there's a party going on outside. Can you hear that? I am so happy to be here with you guys. It is a Friday, a beautiful Friday in New York City. There's still blasting music outside. Can you hear it? Sound off in the chat if you can hear it. Um, I'm feeling invigorated today. Beyonce is back in our lives. Um, Cowboy Carter tour has begun, and I don't talk about Beyonce so much on the podcast, but she is my North Star. She is everything to me. Aside from the Countess of Luann, Beyonce is my North Star. So I'm wearing my On the Run tour shirt today, and if you don't know, I have a full on Renaissance tattoo back here. Look how pretty she is. I was away from the mic. I have a Renaissance tattoo. Um, well, hi everyone. We got a lot going on. I've been a little MIA this week. Apologies on that. Just a busy work week, but our live is happening as we speak. This will also be posted to the Dumpster Dive podcast feed later this evening. You can also watch all Dumpster Dive episodes on YouTube for a video version of the episode. And make sure to please subscribe to Dumpster Dive everywhere you can. And when you do that, I want you to leave the most glowing review, the highest number of stars that you can to support me and my family. Speaking of my family, you can see my dog's food box right there. Just got some food in today. Happy that's a part of the shot. Russell may come in at some point today. I'm home alone right now while Brian is at work. But today we are going to chat about Summer House episode. I believe this is episode 11 or 12. Episode 12. I should edit that on the thing. Yeah, episode 12. We also have some hot topics. I have some photos I'd like to share with you that have really made me feel invigorated online and just chat. Hi, Amit. How are you? Good to see you. Yeah, if you guys have never been to a live, if you're watching this after, we like to really engage with the chat and answer questions. So make sure to hop in. Next week, by the way, some housekeeping. Next week, I'm going to go live again at this time on Friday because Thursday night, I am going to go see Kendrick Lamar and SZA at MetLife Stadium. So very excited about that. Okay, so let's get into some hot topics and some things in the culture before we get into the Bravo mess. So let me pull up my notes real quick. Oh, some content things. Say you're like Tom. I need to hear more of you. I can't imagine why you would ever want that, but I was on Radio Andy this week on Sirius XM. So if you are a Sirius subscriber or you want to do a free trial, I was on the John Hill show on Radio Andy on Monday. You can listen to the replay of that. I believe it'll be up until the next Monday's episode. So I think you have through the weekend to go listen to that. We had a great time, chatted about a lot. I'm hoping to be back on with him like once every couple months over at Sirius. I got to go to Sirius headquarters here in New York City, and I did have a celeb sighting. I did have a celeb sighting, and that was someone that I think is important to a lot of people, but not important to me. But I want to share this news with you, and that is the one and only Joe Jonas was there. So I did get to see him. I try and play cool with celebs for the most part, unless it's like it's hard. It's funny. I think there's a level of celebrity that is unapproachable and then approachable. Like I think we were talking about this on my other show called Good Judy's. Subscribe to Good Judy's with our friend Alex Newell. Alex Newell won a Tony for their performance in Shucked a couple Broadway seasons ago, and they were talking about how like when they go to queer spaces, they are mobbed. But like if Kate Blanchett went into a queer space, like no one would bat an eye. They would just be like, "Oh my god, that's Kate Blanchett," and then they would be like, "Do you want a drink?" Like there's like a weird level of fame with certain people. Like you just are like, "No, oh my god, how can I say anything?" But then some people, I want to be like, "Hey, I love you." and I think they would appreciate it. So Joe Jonas for me, I just don't care about him necessarily. But if I saw a Bravo celebrity, I think I would be more nervous than if I saw an A-list celebrity. Like I think I could interact calmly with Meryl Streep before I could interact calmly with Lindsay Hubbard. Is that crazy? It sounds a little crazy, but I think that's my truth. So yeah, saw John Hill, saw Joe Jonas, all the greats. We need John Hill back on this show. Also, make sure to check out John Hill's new show called Show Pony. He's recapping Workout New York. Oh, not Workout New York. Sorry, just regular workout. Which if the real Bravo heads from the old country know what workout was and how special that show was. So go check that out. What else is going on this week? Oh, I also was on Raven's podcast, Bitches Better. So that comes out on Sunday. So go check that out too. If you're like Tom content is where I'm at. So that's all the promo things here at the top. I want to get into a couple news things that I saw. Now, they are recording the Valley reunion so early. I don't know if you guys saw this. They're recording it. They recorded it today. They're on set today. And it's so bizarre to me. Like, the Valley is 3 episodes in. So, like, I'm sure that they sent them, like, the majority of the season, but I can't imagine that they've seen the final edited finale yet. Like, the season is probably 12 episodes long. Like, I know that most everything is edited, but I'm sure that they make final cuts as they see what storylines are popping and things like that. But regardless, they did film it, and I do have there's something in my eye. I do have the seating chart. I want to show you guys. So let's talk about this. If you haven't seen the seating chart, do go look at it on Bravo's Instagram. Once again, it just feels crazy that we're commenting on the seating chart when like we've only seen like none of the season, right? It's so weird. So center we have, father Andy. Um and then we have uh this is crazy, honestly. The fact that we have Brittany and Jack. I mean, this would be the only way to do it, but having the two of them sit across from each other, it's going to be a brawl. And Andy is just loving it being sat in the middle. Brittany and Jax. Next to Brittany, we have Kristen, and then Luke, and then Nia, Danny, and then Michelle is all the way at the end. Was that weird to anyone else? I thought that was kind of weird. Like, why is she sequestered over here? Right? I don't know. Especially because right now, Ryan Bailey posted about this on Instagram, but he was like, it's confusing that Michelle's on the end when she's kind of the core story right now on the show. Um, and then on the right side, we have Jax once again at the center, and then we have Jesse, and then we have Janet, and then we have Jason, and then Jasmine. The Jays. We lined up the Jays. We got Jax, Jesse, Janet, Jason, Jasmine, Zach. Y'all, I'm sorry. That many J's is so confusing. And the fact that honestly, I have just recognized my mental illness, knowing that I just was able to spout off all of their names just like that. Like that. So I'm sick. I'm sick. And I just want you guys to seek help for me. Next, we have another thing that made me so freaking happy. Oh my god, my queen. My one and only queen, Angie Katsanavas, has a partnership with Kerastas, getting that Kerastas treatment. Can y'all look at this? She looks amazing. I'm sorry. Excuse me. I'm having allergy issues. If I'm wiping my nose, that is why. That's super, super professional on live. So yeah, she's doing this Kerastas ad. There's like a new product for Kerastas that has to do. I know nothing about hair, as you can see. Although I did just get a fresh fade today and a beard trim. How do I look? Um, I'm so happy to see Angie K get her bag. Get that bag. I love to see it. That wasn't really as exciting as I wanted to be, realizing that as I'm talking about it, but I'm just happy to see that she's got a brand partnership. And then one other thing that I don't have pulled up here two hot topic news, Bravo news things. Katie from the Real Housewives of Orange County doesn't appear to be on their cast trip in Amsterdam, which I'm so happy we're making a pilgrimage back to Amsterdam. It, of course, referring to Real Houses of Beverly Hills. I know it's a different franchise, but I'm hopeful that we get chaos there. Oh, hi, Mary. I'm just seeing you here in the chat. Mary, when you popped into the chat and said crazy to record this early, I did think you were talking about me in this live for a moment, but I understand now what you're saying, and I do agree. Um, um, no, what was I saying? Oh, Katie. So Katie was photographed with like some of the Jeff Lewis radio crew, and she's with them. Yet the cast trip is happening in Amsterdam. I'm worried. You guys, I wonder what y'all think. I really liked Katie this past season, and I really hated how the women came down so harshly on her in that reunion. I felt like it was so terrible. Like I don't think we needed to be that much of a twat to her. It just didn't feel right to me. Um, and are there holes in some of her stories? Well, yes, but I, I think she is at her core like a nice person. Also, her daughter, the stuff with her daughter, like that's her adult daughter. Take it up with the daughter, and she's mad at her daughter. But like when her daughter got on live and did that, that was fucked up. But that's not a reflection on whether she's not a good mom and stuff. I don't know. I think that they, and you know what? I haven't seen this new season. I could be completely off base here, but I think they kind of ousted her just because they didn't they just didn't vibe with her. Mostly Heather Dubrow, and so Heather Dubrow got the rest of the girls to follow suit with that. But um, yeah, I just it makes me kind of bummed to see that she's not there. I'm hoping this new season of OC is great. We're a bit of a Housewives drought, to be honest with you. Um, next thing, I don't know if you guys saw, but Gia had Dolores on her podcast. I can we put a clause in these Bravo celebrities contracts to say no more podcasts? It's hard out here enough for people like myself to get these things off the ground. We don't need Bravo celebrities with really base like level of conversational skills getting into the podcast world. I'm sorry, y'all. Gia is not a star. Sorry. I'm sure. I hope. Honestly, I could see her getting to this because I feel like the Judices are so online, paying people to do things for them allegedly. But so Gia had Dolo on, and Gia was talking about how she was having a conversation with Riley because Riley and her are on that Next Gen New York show, and Riley said, Gia said that she kind of like she was trying to connect with Riley because she's like, I feel like New York and Atlanta are so similar. And Riley was like, because you know how Riley is so dry. I love Riley. She's so just like, um, gay, whatever that means. She was just like, no, I don't think so. And so Gia was like, kind of like took offense to that. And then she told Dolores, and Dolores is like, also like, that's not very nice of her. It's like, okay, why are we feuding with a child? Let's not feud with a child. And I mean, they're not children, but like, they're like, Dolores is like, could be their grandmother. Sorry, I'm adjusting my lighting a little bit. Oh my gosh. I just don't, I just don't understand what we're doing here. But that pissed me off. I like Riley. Don't come for Riley. Don't come for Candy. You know, Candy was like, "Girl, what are you talking about?" Also, I see no similarities between Atlanta and New Jersey, out of the fact, except for the fact they started like a month apart. Like they aired very closely to each other, and so their rise was kind of together. And for a long time, New Jersey and Atlanta always fought for that number one rating slot. They outperformed Beverly Hills and OC for a long, long time. But yeah, I was bummed to see that. And then yeah, that kind of covers all of our hot topics. That's what I had. If you guys have any other things in hot topics, please put it in the chat. I will bring it up here on the show. I want to dive into this episode of Summer House. I love the show. I say it every week. It's so comforting to me. I really find so much joy in seeing straight people be straight and messy. Call me old fashioned. Because sometimes I want to see gays on these shows, but I'm like, maybe we should just have the gays have their own show. I don't know that we need gays on this show, unless it's me, of course. Um, I'm obviously being sarcastic, but Shed Media or whoever produces that, if you're listening, hey. So this episode that we get the back end of Snooze Fest, is that what it's called? I think that's what it's called. Snooze Fest, Bed Fest, Snooze Fest. And once again, I said this last week on the live, but I gotta just tip my hat to the ladies. Best theme once again that we've had in a long time. And in this episode, we get kind of the rest of the fallout from the Lexi and Jesse fight. But before we get there, Carl, Carl decides to confess his love for the hottest woman on Bravo, Sierra. And it goes something like this. I tried to hook up with a girl last weekend and it was like I didn't perform well. But in the topic of girls, I have a crush on you. I'm like, what? What? I'm sorry, y'all. That was crazy. He literally led into him telling her that he wants to hook up with like, I didn't perform well sexually last weekend. Nothing gives me the fanny flaws quite like a man telling me he doesn't perform under pressure well. So, just that. So, of course, Sierra, like a champ, is like, "Oh, you're so sweet." No. Sierra is one of the hottest we have. And I mean that like globally. I do. I mean that globally. She is one of one. She's number one. She's the only one. Um, she's just really pretty intelligent. I mean, Carl was right when he said everything about her. He was like, "You are so smart. You're so caring. You're compassionate, and you are drop dead gorgeous. Like anyone would kill to be with you, and I would kill to be with you." And yeah, it didn't go over well. Um, have y'all been rejected like that before? I definitely have. When I was in college, y'all. I was so insanely boy crazy. I got better when I moved to New York City and got some thick skin about the fact that I'm not everyone's cup of tea and that has to be okay. But I was just rabid. I was like, a husband. I need a husband. I need a husband. I need a husband. And now I don't really care about that anymore. But I just, yeah, I think Carl is like similarly really trying to lock something down right now because he's like, I'm finally fixed. I fixed everything. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. And it's like, yeah, but I think let it happen to you, Carl, because I do think Carl, you're a good guy, but I don't think you need to be meeting anyone on reality TV. Like you need a very sweet, nice girl that you meet at soft bar one Sunday afternoon and you guys go and get matcha lattes together and talk about your feelings and then she gives you a really long sensual hug and then the rest is history. So that's my thought on that. But then we get so Jesse is like pouting around this party. He's like, I just want to have fun. I'm like, oh god, I cannot stand him anymore. Oh, wait, also, did y'all see that he has a new song? And he said he had an Jesse Solomon had an interview with Rolling Stone. Rolling Stone, talking about how he wants to be the next Michael Bublé. I'm sorry, y'all. We we have been led astray that we've given Jesse a platform to converse with Rolling Stone about his music career. Sick. What we're doing is sick. Um, his music is so serious too. Like I kind of love like when Housewives make songs that are like pop anthems because it's like they're having fun with it. Like you can't tell me that Melissa Gorga thought she was going to sell out MetLife Stadium after she released On Display. On display, each and every day, every day. But hearing him be like, I'm a native New Yorker. It doesn't work for me. It's just weird. It's weird. And I just want him to join a choir and not. Oh God, I hope he never gets to this. He stays online. He's another one. He is online. Our beloved Hannah Brown was on here telling us about how she had a run-in with both West and Jesse on TikTok when she was talking about their behavior, um, like on TikTok, and just got dragged by them. And it's like, yo, let us talk about you. And Jesse, let us talk about how you're a fuck boy who croons too much. But Jesse's running around this party and he is like talking about how he fucked up with Lexi, and he's like, I just want to have fun. And he's talking to the girls, and the girls are like, Jesse, you have to stop telling shit that isn't real to the whole house and then act like a victim when Lexi confronts you about it. And Paige is like, I would have freaked out honestly if I was Lexi and I saw you on top of Sierra that weekend when she was gone. And he's like, what do you mean? I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. And they're like, no, you didn't. But like, you weren't being a good like um new boyfriend if that's what you're trying to be with her. And he goes, well, Sierra, I was just doing that to be nice to you because I felt bad for you. Excuse me? Y'all, the way I would have thrown a Loverboy spritz in his face. Shut the fuck up with that. Shut the fuck up with that. You did that to make me feel better? Oh, that's so sweet. F off, Jesse. Jesse Sinatra. um, so then he mopes over. He just keeps moping over different corners. Be like, "Will you guys hang out with me?" And then I have to say though, someone else at this party, someone at this party that really brought it is our one and only West Wilson. Him in that nightgown, holding that candle, like looking like Scrooge. I have to say, doing the splits. He could do the splits. I was lolling. I was lolling. I'm back on the West train. Maybe I don't know. Sue me. Um, but and then yeah, and then Lexi goes in and calls her sister, and cries about this Jesse stuff and how Jesse's like gaslighting her and all that. Um, and then the boys stay up to watch Zootopia on the bed outside. I really really identified with that. I would love to watch. I haven't watched Zootopia in forever. And then they all leave and they leave West there and he falls asleep and then it starts pouring rain and he's under a duvet cover in that's soaked in water and then has to wake up and get out of that. So that made me lol. But the next morning, we get this amazing breakfast chat. Now, I have to say, I have really turned a corner with Lexi. She kind of ate, as the kids say. She ate, left no crumbs. Left no crumbs. Um, when she said she was in, so she goes down to the kitchen and she's like, "Oh, morning, Jesse." And Jesse's like, "Do we want to talk?" She's like, "No, we could talk here. You have told everyone here about everything we're doing, so let's talk about it." And Lindsay is like loving it. There's nothing pregnant women love more. As someone who like has a lot of friends who have gone through pregnancy and all they want to know is like, give me some gossip. Tell me what happened at the bars last night. Tell me what debauchery you're getting into. Lindsay was just like, this is pregnant heaven. I'm about to eat like a slab of bacon and listen to the two of y'all bitch at each other about your 2 week long relationship. Heaven for Hub House. Um, so yeah, they get into it. And you know who really pissed me off in this? Kyle Cook. Kyle comes in and he's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Can we calm down? Can we relax about like this? It's the morning. It's the morning. We just woke up. Like, do we need? You guys need to go have this conversation privately." Kyle, the amount of times that you have barged into this house screaming at Amanda about your relationship and about the wedding and about like Hannah Burner and like all the you have screamed in front of millions of people I actually, you know what? I'm throwing Summer House a very generous ratings number there. You have screamed at hundreds of thousands of people, maybe. Let them fight on camera in the middle of the house in front of everyone. Let them have their moment. Relax, bro. But Lexi stands up. She's like, I don't want to be exclusive with your ass. I do not want to be exclusive with yo ass. And they kind of break up. They film a breakup scene later on that Jesse clearly was really trying to like he really wanted to look like the good guy. He's like, I'd really like to maybe give it a shot. And Lexi's like, nah, bro. It's just we would have known by now if this is gonna work, and it's not working. Deuces. Deuces. So they break up. They break up. I feel like we've spent more time talking about the relationship than they ever did. And to be frank, more time talking about it than the length of their relationship. So remember, this show films in like over like a 8 week period, and we're only like halfway through the season. Oh no, no, that's not true. We're probably over halfway through the season, but still, like they have not been together that long. Oh, one other thing though that happened that I thought was so interesting and really was a reflection on Jesse's shadiness is that Jesse did not tell West that he got into a tussle about West and Lexi at that club. And so Lexi brings it up. She's like, "You were mad at me for flirting with West, quote unquote, when all I was doing was helping him like not be a drunken disaster." And West was like, excuse me?" He did he had they're like besties. That happened like 2 weeks ago. Why would you not tell him that? I'm sorry. That was really weird to me. And West was looked kind of pissed. He's like, "What the hell? Now why am I in it? And let's see how did I get thrown into stuff." Um, but yeah, and then we get this little scene once again. Kyle and Amanda are having the conversation about mental health versus children. It's kind of been the same. We've had a couple seasons of this. I don't know that I need to know anything more about them and their journey as parents, but here we are. But that kind of wraps up Summer House. This is going to be a quicker live today. I do want to answer some listener questions, so please put some questions in the chat. I know we have quite a few people that have come into the live now. Hi everyone, thanks for being here. I am opening up Instagram to dive into some of these questions. Oh, wait, one second. Yeah, just hit me in the comments, hit me on Instagram. Any questions? I posted late about the live and the questions, so it seems that none had come in. But I'm trying if there's anything else in the culture that I want to talk about before we wrap. Once again, put questions in the chat. The Valley. I'm recording an episode this weekend with Taria where we're gonna dive into all things Atlanta this season because the Atlanta midseason trailer just dropped. We're just gonna do a big long episode about Atlanta to scratch that itch for y'all. So we won't get to talk about the Valley. So let's chat about the Valley a little bit because we got this Dave and Buster's scene that was so cuckoo crazy. Do y'all like a Dave and Buster's in New York? The last time I went to a Dave and Buster's, there's two Dave and Buster's in the city. There's one in Atlantic Avenue, like shopping mall center, which is down in downtown Brooklyn, and then there's one in Times Square. I believe there's one in Queens, but like it's out in Queens a bit. I think that's it. There may be one in Harlem, but I'm not sure about that. New York City Dave and Buster's, it doesn't work. It's a mess. The food is a disaster. The carpet, you never want to be somewhere in New York City with carpet. I just have to make that clear. If you've never been here, if you walk into an establishment as a tourist and you see carpet, make a new plan. Go somewhere else. Get out. Get out. Get out. Dave and Buster's is one of those facilities that does have carpet, and I've spent some time there. The day after, the day after I went to Dave and Buster's the last time, two adult men brought out knives and had a knife fight in the prize like shopping area over who was going to get one of the items. And one of them got stabbed and is no longer with us. So that was my last experience at a Dave and Buster's. What's yours? um, yeah, not great, not great in the city, but Dave and Buster's in the burbs. I threaded this. It's kind of a vibe. Like sometimes you want like a massive draft beer and mott sticks and like just to play those. I like to play the games where like you win money for like the prizes. I don't really love the games where you like I don't like the racing games or like the Jurassic Park shoot 'em games. Like I want to play the games like where you put a quarter in and it goes and gets into a slot, and if that slot has 1,000 tickets, you get 1,000 tickets. Like that's more my vibe. But um, yeah, I think it's a wild concept to be filming a Bravo show at a Dave and Buster's, but Janet is attempting to be relatable. I think this was her valiant effort at that. Whether it worked, I don't know that it worked. Um, and it, it all unfolds at the Dave and Buster's. We get a Michelle versus Jesse slash Danny off. Danny is so messy. Danny is so messy. I cannot stand his ass. And I'm laughing because like he literally did this. Now, listeners, scrub to minute 31 on the video. If you're listening to this, you can see what I'm doing. Danny thought that if he did what I'm about to do, that it would not be put on the show. Have you heard that Michelle maybe hooks up with a billionaire for $1,500? Like the cameraman is right there. He just turned around. Like, bitch, you have a mic on. You have a mic on, diva. You can't just go like this. Rookie mistake. Rookie mistake, my man, Danny. Speaking of Danny, Danny also seemed to have some uh some grip likes to grip some asses. Jasmine brings up that Jasmine's girlfriend was approached by Danny and he said, "Can you get daddy another drink?" when he was like blackout wasted. And she felt incredibly uncomfortable by it. And I felt like the boys are being so delicate about that. And I think that we're going to get more information about that at the reunion that filmed today. Um, let's look at some questions. So Mary asks, thoughts on the Love Island spinoff? I have mixed feelings, kind of just ready to return to Fiji. Wait, oh, is this? Oh, see, I don't watch Love. So I only watch Love Island US, which I know is the not the right one to watch, but I just like I haven't gotten into Love Island UK, and I just like I don't know where to start. And it's also a lot. It's a lot to take on, personally. But if you're, I don't think you were talking about this, but I do want to mention Love Hotel, which I did like. If you guys don't know, Love Hotel is the new Bravo show with Shannon, Luann, Ashley, and my North Star, the Countess Luann, as they date men on the beach in Mexico and try to find their one true love. Hosted by comedian we love, Joel Kim Booster. Um, so Love Hotel, I'm liking. The dating shows for me, I think I think because so much reality television has become so incredibly um platform based. Like people go on there to be a star, not to like be there for the purposes of the conceit of that show. Specifically, the like Love is Blind, Bachelor, Love Island universe. The only one that I find, the one that I find truly the most genuine of like the love shows is Love Island because like they are really trapped there, and um I think they really do actually kind of find some love in Love Island. I think their intentions are fame, influencer fame, but it's fun to strip everything away from an influencer and then they have to rely on their personality. I do find that incredibly watchable. So maybe I do need to dive back into Love Island. I was so obsessed with Love Island USA this season. It was so good. I watched every episode. Um, Amit says, question, thoughts on how LVP went above for Garcelle on Watch What Happens Live. I didn't watch that. I'm assuming you mean like she like rooted for her. Like she's team her. I haven't watched any of the Vanderpump Villa show, but I heard there was something that happened with Stassi and Bo, where Stassi was screaming at Bo for getting a tattoo for his sister, and his sister was there. I don't know. Y'all have to tell me more about that because I watched a couple episodes of Vanderpump Villa last season. I didn't hate it. I can't stand Lisa Vanderpump anymore. So sorry. Um, yeah, I think that's about it, guys. I think that's it. This was a quick live today. Next week, I believe we will have Kendrick Tucker here on the live to talk about all of the mess with me. And then um, more guests to come in the month of May. We have, if you're a challenge fan, we have a cast member from the challenge coming on the podcast next week. So get excited about that. Kix has been here in the chat. Yeah, she has been. And she says, give us your thoughts on your sister. You know what? I think I'm going to release we just did an episode. Actually, no, y'all go check it out. Kix was on my other show, Good Judy's, which is the show I do with my two best friends. And it's a show about gay shit and pop culture. Follow us at Good Judy's Pod on Instagram and check out Good Judy's. Kix was on. If you're missing Kix in your lives, we recorded for an hour and a half and chaos ensued. So enjoy that. And yeah, we got an Atlanta episode coming out with Taria. We got a fun interview with a cast member from the challenge, and we got a live next week. So much stuff is going on. Please follow me at the Tom Hamlet on Instagram. Follow the YouTube account, youtube.com/dumpsterdivepod. Rate and review to the podcast. Subscribe to this YouTube channel if you have not already, and show me some love as I play this amazing outro music. It's not playing. Is it playing? Oh no, that's not good. Well, I'll just play the intro again. There we go. God, I love tech. Bye, guys. I appreciate you all, and I'll see y'all next time.